So, Scoom, how does it feel to know that this will be the lone year where the Cardinals will have a higher draft pick than the Pirates?
It's a dubious honor, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome again, my friends and viewers who are not my friends, but maybe one day will be, to another episode of the SCS Baseball podcast. As usual, we are on the off-season, so, bi-weekly schedule instead of weekly.
Yeah.
A fair amount of things have actually happened that we can talk about.
Yeah.
If you guessed that 50% of them were, like, trades and contract shit, you'd be right.
Yeah. Things are actually happening. Not with, like, the top star guys, but, well, kind of. But those
I mean,
guys
do
are
the
mostly...
Dodgers even have to do anything anymore? They, bought half the fucking market,
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
last month.
I just realized whenever I was writing the list of things down, instead of writing the Dodgers bringing back Kershaw, I wrote Dodgers bringing back Dodgers.
They promise to do that every year. But yeah, Kershaw is in the Dodgers again. He basically got an extension without getting an extension.
Yeah, he's back for another year.
And I can't really say I'm surprised. I didn't think the Dodgers were going to let him go, and I didn't think that other teams out there could afford Clayton Kershaw.
I didn't think any other teams really wanted him. I mean, look how old he is.
Yeah, he's kind of he does have he is an aged player that has probably some sentimental significance to Los Angeles at this point.
Yeah.
Given how many years he's played for the Dodgers.
I don't think he's gone to any other team. I think he's just been on the Dodgers.
Let me actually check.
In other Dodgers
Yep,
news...
whole time.
Yeah, whole
This
time
is Dodger
Dodgers.
career since 2008.
Yeah.
So anyone who thought that Clayton was going to go to another team was going against. Anyone who thought Clayton Kershaw was going into another team, which I guess includes you, was going up against like 15 years of stats.
Yeah, I just
otherwise.
I just thought they were set at the starting pitch in the rotation, that they wouldn't have needed.
They kind of are. I think they just did it anyway for the morale.
They just did it for the feels.
Or it was like a victory lap in the fucking off-season because they already absorbed all of the best possible players. Speaking of good players, how do you feel about Aroldis Chapman being in the Pirates?
I was a little confused at first because Aroldis Chapman is usually known for being a top-tier closer. The issue being we already have a top-tier closer in David Bednar. But then I remembered that he wasn't really a closer for the Rangers during their big postseason run.
I think they actually used him as a starter in the playoffs.
Nah, they used him as a setup guy for Jose
Right,
Leclerc.
yeah.
So if they do that with him, where they use him as a setup guy for David Bednar, I swear there have been more times than I can count where we put a setup guy in at the 8th inning and they just choke it, and they just choke so badly to the point where we don't even need to warm up fucking Bednar. It's just like, fucking, alright, shit, guess we're fucked. And Chapman was really good as in the setup role, so I'm thinking if he does well there, then Bednar closes out the game, we could maybe get a few more wins.
Yeah, if you were to ask me, I think Aroldis Chapman big defensive upgrade to the Pirates. I remember when we were watching the playoffs. I think this was like back when we thought we could stream the whole thing.
Yeah.
You saw Aroldis Chapman on the Rangers, and you thought he was going to be bad because he was a Royal the year before.
He was a Royal like during the beginning of the year, but he was also like really bad the past couple of years. But he
Yeah,
actually held his own in the postseason, so that's neat. Hopefully, he continues that for the Pirates. But if he doesn't, I'm gonna fucking flip my desk over. Would be so mad.
yeah. Here's hoping. Uh,
Uh,
Speaking of things that are upsetting, things that I'm mad about, the Nationals are already considering discontinuing their City Connect jersey, and I think that's fucked up.
stupid.
It's the nicest one. It's like one of the best ones ever made,
Yeah.
and
No.
and they're gonna change it. I mean, as far as I know, uh, which is because Snoot told me this. The Nationals are looking to make like a rebrand soon, not changing their name, but changing their jerseys and all that.
Like everything, basically. They're thinking of changing everything, I think. So,
Oh, you think they have a different name?
no, not different name, but
Oh,
like
they're
different.
still gonna be the Nats, but
They're still gonna
they're
be
gonna
the
look
Nats,
completely
but
different.
yeah, it's gonna be like a different logo, maybe.
I'm kind of excited to see where it goes because the thing with the Nats is they have the most boring jersey ever,
Yeah.
and the W looks like a Walgreens, and I think people have wanted that to change for a long time.
I think
Uh,
you said
Low key, huh?
I think you said it best earlier before we started recording. You can only make the Walgreens joke so much before you start having an identity crisis.
Yeah, exactly. Now, low key, I hope what they do is I hope the reason why they're discontinuing the City Connect jersey is so that they can use its colors for the new Nats jersey.
That would be
Because
sick, actually.
the gray and pink would be really nice. It would be really new for baseball. And it's very fitting because the Nationals are like a bad team, and one of the rules of baseball is that all the like bad teams get the coolest colors.
Yeah, they get the coolest jerseys and whatnot.
Yeah, like the Rockies, for instance, they have their really nice purple jerseys, but they're the Rockies.
Yeah. Speaking of the Nats, though, they did make a signing. They did sign somebody. They signed Joey Gallo to a 1-year deal. So I'm thinking like if he ends up being really good for them, but the rest of the team isn't that good, he's probably getting traded for some more prospects. But overall, I think that's a pretty decent signing.
Yeah,
Pretty
uh, I think so. I don't really know the. You said his name was what again?
Joey Gallo, he was a Ranger for the longest time until he got traded to the Yankees back in 2021. Then he played
I
for
see.
the then he played for the Yankees until 2022 where he got traded to the I heard yippee. What happened?
There was no EP. You didn't disconnect. On my end, at least. Hello?
Somebody just follow me on my Twitch. I have
Did
that
you start?
set I have that set to my Twitch. No, I'm not streaming. I don't think I'm streaming. No, I'm not streaming. Someone just followed me randomly on Twitch.
Yippee!
It was Molly Ketty the cat. Molly Ketty the cat followed me on my Twitch as we're recording.
Perfect time.
That fucking freaked me out. I was like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Yippee! But yeah, it sounds like Joey Gallo has been around the block, and
Yeah.
if teams have been so willing to trade him around, the Nationals sounds like it'd be a logical endpoint, like it was for, say, Taiwan Walker.
Yeah. He'll probably If he ends up doing well, he'll get traded to a better team most likely.
More than likely, yeah.
And the Nats will have a few more trinkets and charms in their farm system.
What is other trades that have been going on? The Mets did get a Japanese player, Shintaro Fujinami.
Yeah, they got a Japanese pitcher. It wasn't Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but uh it was a it was Shintaro Fujinami, whom uh he was okay, so Fujinami is really weird. He was really bad at the start of last year. But the team he started last year with was the Athletics.
Yeah, that ought to do it. It doesn't really help with the Athletics. He's going to be playing with. He was playing with the most garbage team in the league.
Yeah,
So it doesn't really help your defensive stats as a pitcher when your team has garbage fielding.
yeah. Then I think he got traded for like cash consideration to the Orioles, and
Huh.
then the Orioles, he, uh, funnily enough, he did better on the Orioles. Imagine that.
Who would have guessed? Higher budget, better team, better players in it.
Yeah,
And now he's in one of the teams with the highest budgets in the league, which is funny because there, as far as I know, there are two teams with insanely high budgets in the MLB, and that's the Mets and the Dodgers. And one of those is good every year.
yeah.
Just one, though.
Uh, that might end up changing though because speaking of the Orioles, they were sold to a couple private equity billionaires, including I think one of them was Orioles legend Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Orioles got some new ownership right now.
So the Orioles are gonna have a bigger budget now.
Basically, if
That's a it's almost a scary concept because the Orioles are already insanely good.
yeah,
I feel like things are only going to get better for them this year.
yeah,
And
and we got to see a glimpse of that immediately after they got sold as well.
yeah,
Because they went ahead and grabbed a pitcher from the Brewers.
which one?
Only he's a little he's a little bit of a uh underrated player and by the name of Corbin fucking Burns.
Oh yeah, holy shit!
uh, and who they gave up for Corbin Burns was only like a dent into their top farm system. They gave up left-handed pitcher DL Hall and infielder Joey Ortiz, as well as the 2024 competitive balance pick.
So they got Corbin Burns for like a piece of gum,
Uh,
$5.
what the Orioles would consider a piece of gum, yeah. For other teams, that's probably
Yeah.
some like high end prospects right there. Like, oh man,
Oh
uh,
yeah, I guess it is pretty big for the Brewers, especially because they have other prospects waiting in the wings like Churio, right?
yeah, like these two, they're phenomenal players. It's just that the Corbin Burns losing Corbin Burns probably still stings for the Brewers. Not only that, but the Orioles are already so stacked in their farm system that giving those two up and a pick for Corbin Burns is
Doesn't
basic.
really mean anything to
Yeah,
them.
literally, it's like they didn't have. It's like holy shit, we don't have to give up number one overall prospect in all the league in the entire MLB. Jackson Holiday, sign me the fuck up, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, the Orioles are in such an insane position. And next year, it's like, who's going to stop them?
Yeah, literally.
Will anyone?
Literally, like And I know we said this about like the Mets last year, but the difference between the Orioles and the Mets is while the Mets bought uh, a bunch of older pitchers and whatnot, so far the Orioles have only really brought in Burns. Like they got Craig Kimbrell to fill in the Felix Bautista sized hole in the bullpen because
Who was new? Well, who was like new in the Orioles last year? It was like I know, I'm pretty sure one of them was Adley Rutschman, right?
no, Ali Rutschman was around for
Oh, okay,
2022.
yeah.
Uh, so it was technically Gunnar Henderson, but like he came in like during the final month of the season, so he was still relatively new. I think Jordan Westberg came up last year for them for a little bit. Uh, Colton Cowser for a little bit. Heston Kjerstad, I think. Like, the Orioles are so loaded in their farms. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You look at their farm system, right? Hold on, I'll pull it up right now. I'll straight up pull it up right now. Like, it's crazy how many top prospects they have. Uh, Keep in
I
mind this is
really, my cat woke up. My cat just woke up. Sorry.
so okay. Like, I'm gonna have to look at 2023's prospect rankings because they haven't come out with the 2024 ones for the individual teams yet. But yeah, you got fucking Jackson Holiday, Colton Cowser, Heston Kjerstad, Kobe Mayo, Samuel Basello, Enrique Bradfield Jr., whom I think just got drafted like this past year at number 7.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's insane to me how many like really good prospects they have. Like Colton Cowser, Heston Kjerstad, these guys could be number ones in other systems, but because they're on the Orioles, it's like
That is insane. Yeah.
like goddamn.
Like what a farm system they've got going on.
Yeah, they're I think the Orioles are pretty much all set for like a dynasty in the making.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm in agreement. Especially because like it was really cool that the Rangers got their first World Series win ever.
Yeah.
Uh, but they also gave away a lot. They also traded away a lot of their players immediately after that.
Yeah, like a lot of their players.
A lot of their players that were key contributors to them winning that World Series.
Yeah, a lot of them ended up leaving. Uh, Although there is still a chance that Jordan Montgomery might be returning. Uh, Corey Seager is returning. Marcus Semien is still returning. I'm pretty sure Scherzer is coming back. Uh, Andrew Heaney and Andrew Heaney's coming back. Hopefully DeGrom comes back and doesn't injure himself again.
Yeah. I think what the Rangers need to do, if they want to keep up this year, is they need to give Jacob DeGrom as much milk as humanly possible.
Yeah, keep his bones from shattering.
Same with O'Neal Cruz. O'Neal Cruz needs some milk.
Yeah. Uh, Although they won't need a whole lot, I like that much other help because they did bring in David Robertson, who started last year on the Mets, then got traded to the Marlins.
Man, he's sort of flown past my radar. What's the deal with him?
He he's a closer. He basically filled in the closing role for the Mets while while Edwin Diaz got hurt before he got traded, and they basically traded him because he was doing really good, and the Mets were not doing that good.
Yeah.
So they traded him to the Marlins, and that was basically what set off the Mets trading everything away. I'm hoping the Mets do a little better because I think if they end up building a really good team, they could be like an opposition to the Braves, which is what I want really badly.
Yeah, it's what I hope for. Like the Mets, the Mets cannot have another year like this one. It wouldn't be surprising if they had another year like the last one, rather. But it would be really nice for the NL East to actually be a competition.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, it's basically right now it's between the Braves and the Phillies.
yeah.
And the
The-
Marlins just like sneak in every so often.
Yeah, the thing is, it's still like it's a really predictable balance because the Braves are gonna win the Braves are gonna win the division. The Phillies are gonna kick the shit out of them in the playoffs.
Yeah. That
This has
yeah,
happened twice already.
this has happened. Yeah, literally the exact same way too. Like that was like I was like I watched that series. I saw uh I saw the Phillies kick the Braves shit in game 1. Game 2, the Braves come back and win. I'm like, okay, it's a tied series. You know, they're going into Philly. Uh, Phillies win the next 2 games, and I was like, and I look at it, and I'm like, this literally happened last year. This is the same outcome. The same thing happened last year. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was really fucking funny to see.
Like, in the same way, too. Phillies win game 1, Braves win game 2, Phillies win the final 2 in Philly. It was like, really? Are you serious? Uh and then they started kicking the Diamondbacks shit in, but the Diamondbacks actually came back, like fought back, and then ended up winning that series, which I think was the biggest surprise of the entire playoffs. Not just the fact that the Diamondbacks got that far, but that they were able to come back and make it to the World Series. Like, I thought for sure, like after that third game in Arizona where the Phillies won, I was like, okay, they're going back to Philly. There's no way the Diamondbacks can win 2 games back to back in Philly. One, maybe. 2 back to back, I don't think so. I think the Phillies are going to the World Series, and the Diamondbacks fucking punched me in the mouth like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks last year were insane, and I can't wait to see them this year. I can't wait to see what they've been cooking. Speaking of cooking, they got Jock Peterson from, I believe, the Giants.
Yeah, he came from the Giants. He was on the Giants last year. He's signing a 1-year deal, I think, with the Diamondbacks. And I like this move for the Diamondbacks because they didn't truly have a set designated hitter in the lineup. They just kept switching between Tommy Pham and Lourdes Gurriel, who was going to play in left field, who was going to be the DH. Now they pretty much have that set with Jock Peterson. And I think they can win. I think they could do even better than they did last year.
Oh yeah, getting Jock Peterson was a great move for the D-backs, and I think it'll add a lot to them because Jock Peterson, he was a really good piece of the Giants.
Yeah.
And though the Giants didn't really do a whole lot last year, they did better than I think most people thought they were gonna do.
Yeah.
Like they've put themselves on the map. The NL West is popping. There's shit going on over there.
Yeah. Literally, like, yeah, the Padres may be on a decline, but the Diamondbacks and the Giants are rising up from the ashes now.
Yeah, that's huge.
And the Rockies are kind of they're just content with what they have right now.
They could be worse. After all, the Cardinals were literally worse at one point.
Yeah. God. But
Speaking of, we're late by about 2 days, but as of 2 days ago from time of recording, February 4th is Willie Mays Day.
yeah, the city of San Francisco proclaimed February 4th, 2024 to be Willie Mays Day 2424 for his number 24 that he wore for a bit of his career with the New York Giants. Then they moved to San Francisco. He spent most of his career there. Then he went back to New York to play for the Mets for 2 seasons.
And this is a big deal because Willie Mays is a black baseball player and one of the best baseball players ever.
Yeah. He was San Francisco's Jackie Robinson, basically.
Yeah.
Even though Jackie Robinson played a whole decade before Willie Mays and was basically more of a Brooklyn Dodgers player than a Los Angeles Dodgers player.
Yeah.
I don't even
The
think.
interesting thing about Jackie Robinson is there were actually like better black players than him during his time, but they didn't get lifted up
Yeah,
because the Brooklyn Dodgers were specifically looking for black players that wouldn't bristle at like the open racism still going on in the MLB.
yeah. Uh, Plus, I think they mostly really liked what they were seeing from Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, he still ended up being like a really good player
Yeah.
and very historically relevant, which is why they have a statue of him in Wichita, Kansas. Unfortunately, some dickbags, probably racist, knowing the state that this incident takes place in, stole the statue, burned it, dismantled it.
Yeah.
Uh, but there is a good ending to the story, and that is that the MLB is pitching in to replace the statue.
Yeah.
It was erected 3 years ago in front of the McAdams Park, as you'll see on the MLB website, marking the 105th birthday of Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Uh, speaking of the Dodgers, since we're on the topic of the Dodgers, they did also sign 2 pieces for possibly their bullpen in Ryan Brazier and James Paxton.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, I think.
They haven't done much with their bullpen, which I don't even know if their bullpen was even that weak last year, but adding in Paxton and Brazier can help out. Like, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. I think that, like, even if they didn't do this, the Dodgers would still be a top contender just because of their sheer fucking offensive power.
Yeah.
Like, they still have players like Mookie Betts, who a lot of people are saying are, like, the best right now.
Yeah.
And they're not entirely wrong. Like, Mookie Betts is amazing. Same with
Best.
Freddie Freeman and the like.
Yeah. Mookie Betts is the best infielder in the league right now. If only he played any other position.
Yeah. Related to the stuff we were talking about with Willie Mays and Jackie Robinson, since it is Black History Month, the MLB did put out like what was it?
For MLB The Show, for their like special edition, they came out with a special Negro Leagues edition of the game with a steelbook that's made to replicate the old newspaper pressings that would come out for Negro League games. And I was hoping to get myself this special collector's edition. The
It seems
unfortunate
really
thing,
fucking cool.
yeah, it's a really cool bundle pack. The only issue is it is only for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X/S. Two
And that's so
consoles.
messed up. Of course, for the Black History promo, they gotta fuck it up somehow, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's a real shame because like the PlayStation 5 is such an unserious console.
yeah,
Like so many PS5 games are either already on the PS4, will be on the PS4, or they'll be on PC. And I'm pretty sure the show 24 will be noted.
yeah,
Or game. Either way, like it's a really cool promo. God, do I wish that they didn't make it exclusive to the most recent consoles that people don't really own.
yeah,
We don't really live we don't really live in an era where people buying new consoles as they come out is financially feasible anymore. For me, it never was because I live in Canada and shit is expensive here. But
yeah,
like that era has already kind of fallen off because there's not really much reason to own a console more advanced than a PS4.
yeah. Especially because most of the games that are on the PS5 are gonna end up either being on the PS4 or on the PC anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. Love to get my hands on one of those like steelbooks though.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I just wish I didn't have to fucking buy it on eBay instead for like $300.
Yeah, you know they're gonna gouge the shit out of that.
Of course they are. They always do.
It's a collector's item, so it's worth more. Smile. What else has been going on?
Uh,
Uh,
let's see here.
I know the Kansas City Royals have picked a main protagonist.
Yeah, they have given Bobby Witt Jr. a huge ass extension, like a Trey Turner style extension, basically.
Yeah, the big difference being that with the Phillies, uh, Trey Turner's 11-year contract is the rest of his career, given his age.
Yeah,
Bobby Witt will still have like a little bit of time to spend on other teams if he so chooses, but he's very much making the Royals the defining like aspect of his career.
yeah.
Uh,
He's basically selling himself to Kansas City, and you know what? Good for them. They deserve some nice things every once in a while.
every once in a while, yeah. I can't get too comfortable with them getting better.
Yeah,
But either way, it's a big move for the Royals to have like a genuinely good player on lock.
yeah. They have their face of the franchise basically locked down for the long term, and that's good for them. I'm just wondering if they're now actually gonna build a solid team around him.
Yeah, that's a great question. The Royals have not been known to deliver on those things. I can only hope that they make some change to that because even though they're, division rivals with me, I would like to see them do better.
They're in the AL Central.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Nah, it's okay. But yeah. Oh wait, no. They are still one of your biggest rivals because you both are in Missouri.
Yes.
In-state rival.
Yeah, our state rivals.
Yeah, kind of like us and the Phillies, except less intense because we're both in the National. You guys, you and the Royals actually get to play each other against in the World Series.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if we were to have the closest thing the Pirates and the Phillies could get to that would be a like an NLCS.
New York gets to do that too.
Yeah, New York also gets to do that with fucking the Yankees and the Mets. That actually has happened before. Both things have happened before.
And
Uh,
California is able to do it.
yeah, California. I don't
But
think
that's not a surprise. A million teams are in
there are
California.
so many teams in California. Uh, but that has both of those circumstances have happened before. The Royals and the Cardinals, I think, played each other in the early '80s. And the Cardinals won, and then the Mets and the Yankees played each other in 2000. The Yankees won.
Yeah, I remember the Subway Series. I was reading about the Subway Series.
Yeah, Subway Series. Uh, but yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. is being extended for the long term in uh, Kansas City. Meanwhile, their division rival, the Tigers, are also signing big young players, although not the ones that you think. Instead of a Riley Green or a Spencer Torkelson, I raise you a Colt Keith, who has not even made his major league debut yet.
That seems to be happening a lot this year, is that they're promising really big contracts to players that have never touched a major league game yet.
Yeah, although to give credit to the Tigers, Colt Keith has played in AAA, which is about as close to MLB, which is as close to MLB talent without actually being in the MLB as you can get.
Yeah, it's not like what the Brewers are doing with Choreo or what the Pirates want to do with Skeens.
Yeah, I don't know if the Pirates are gonna try to sign Skeens long term. I just know that they're gonna. I just know that people want them to bring him into the opening day roster, and I'm sitting here like, no, give him time.
Yeah, I think the Paul Skeens thing is cope.
Give bro time. Don't fuck him up. There's so many like top pitching prospects in history where teams just flat out ignored the minor league the minor leagues development area and just brought him up to the MLB. The Rangers were actually guilty of this with their top pitching prospect that they drafted 1-1, and they fucked him up real bad. And he was a big old bust right there. So, give bro time. If he ends up in the major league team this year, sure. But he has to earn that first. He has to prove that he can actually, compete with major league talent.
Yeah, he needs time in the AAA to prove that he's actually cooking.
Yeah. Needs time in both. I'd say start him out in AA. If he ends up blowing away the AA competition, bring him up to AAA where he's gonna be the closest to Major League Baseball in the minors he can be. See how he does there. If he does well, bring him up to the majors. That's all you gotta do. Don't start him right away on the Major League club, because then he's gonna be bad. Probably.
Yeah, and he really doesn't fucking deserve that. He seems like a great kid.
Yeah.
And he'll be a really good, and like given time, he will be a really good player. He just needs that time.
He just needs that time, yeah. I mean, I guess there is an instance where I could absolutely eat fucking shit and they bring him up to to the opening day roster, and he ends up being the next Garrett Cole.
It's a possibility, but I wouldn't gamble
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. I don't like the odds of bringing, like, especially a pitcher, like bringing a prospect up what seems to be way too early. I didn't like it with Zach Neto in the Angels. I don't like it here. It's just,
At least Zach Neto is doing fine from what I've seen.
yeah, he's doing all right, and I'm good, and I'm happy for that. I still
Yeah,
don't like that move though.
it's not. Well, unironically, I think there's less pressure. There was less pressure on Neto than there is on Skeens because Skeens is a pitcher.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
because like
also,
if Zach Neto fucks up, there could be any manner of reasons. He's a shortstop.
yeah,
He has to work with the other fielders in order to make a good defense. Uh, when you're a pitcher and you do bad, there's only one person you can. Well, even though it could be the fielder's fault, you're gonna take the most heat for it.
yeah. It's, I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me to bring him up that early.
Yeah,
I'll
and
be
I know this
happy.
from experience because people were fucking railing hard against Wainwright,
Yeah,
even though the Cardinals had a lot of other problems that didn't really help Wainwright score that much.
yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. Uh, in other news, since we talked about the Burns trade, uh, Dylan Cease has been rumored of maybe getting traded uh to the Mariners, one of the teams that have been brought up since the Mariners have been making a lot of trades.
Yeah,
Uh, but it seems that now that the White Sox might just wait until like the trade deadline to do anything with Cease. Uh, but the Mariners aren't, facing too many too many like they ain't worried about it too much. It seems like because they did bring in Gregory Santos from the White Sox as well as Jorge Polanco from the Twins.
yeah. I think that the Mariners, I don't really see them making a whole lot of trouble making a like. How do I put it? I don't really see them making a big splash next year just because the AL West is already stacked as fuck.
Yeah,
And the Mariners fell short last year.
they still have a
Maybe,
talented roster, but
yeah,
I don't know uh if they should do too much to I think what they're doing right now is pretty smart,
yeah,
give away some what could be underperforming pieces for some really good pieces. And in the Twins case, the Jorge Polanco trade might end up being another win, because similarly to the Luis Ariz trade last year, they're getting a lot of pieces that could, secure future runs.
yeah. I think that thinking about it a little more actually, they actually don't have terrible chances because of the Rangers kind of like selling off a lot of their short contracts.
Yeah, it could.
I think the only thing they have to super worry about is the fact that the Astros are still going strong,
Yeah, I think
much to the chagrin of everyone.
I think the Astros and Rangers will give the Mariners some problems. The Angels are gonna take up more steps down than they already have since they no longer have Otani, and the Athletics are the Athletics. So
Yeah, Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, the Angels are cooked. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
Like this is not going to be their year, and the next like 5 years aren't going to be their year either.
Yeah, they went all in, and for what?
If anything, if someone were to ask me right now, who do I think is going to win the World Series in 2024? Uh, actually, it would be a pretty difficult. Actually, it wouldn't be a super easy answer, but right now, I would tentatively say Los Angeles,
Yeah.
as in the Dodgers, not Anaheim.
Yeah. Uh yeah, but I like the trade. I like the Polanco trade for both sides. I think they both got pretty equal value. The Mariners got hopefully secured a top second baseman to help with their infield, and the Twins, much like last year's Arise trade, acquire a bunch of pieces that they could use for future runs, especially
Makes sense.
Gabriel Gonzalez, whom is number 79 in all of MLB in terms of prospect rankings, and number 3 in, or rather, was number 3 in Seattle's system. I don't know what he's going to be in Minnesota's.
I imagine he'll be pretty good for Minnesota. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on Minnesota right now in general. Their playoff performance was surprising, but I think that's probably kind of it. Like I don't see them doing anything super important this year, or really any AL Central team.
Yeah, the AL Central is kind of a mess. Maybe it'll get better. The NL Central is getting a bit better with
At least something that shows a little bit of promise is that the White Sox appear to be going for a full fucking rebuild. Like, don't they have a new manager and everything?
I think they kept the manager that they had last year, but they have new guys in the front office.
Yeah.
Although them going for a full-scale rebuild is not surprising to me. It's a little heartbreaking, but not surprising. Especially because they showed so much promise after the 2021 season. It's like, damn, what we're wrong.
It's hard to say.
Uh,
I still find some amusement in like I don't know if he actually officially went or not, but the whole idea of Tim Anderson being considered by the Angels is really funny.
yeah. Uh, a few more bits of news before we wrap up. Carlos Santana got signed to the Twins. Speaking of the Twins, so uh, I just put that in there because I wanted to talk about Santana for a little bit. He was good for the Pirates. He was good for the Brewers after we traded him, and hopefully he does well with the Twins, and he actually may end up getting a chance. And he actually probably maybe ends up getting a chance at a World Series because he deserves it. After all
In
this,
the in the Twins,
maybe not the Twins, but just in general. Like if they end up trading him to an actually competent, like an actually really competent team, it would be nice to see him go to
yeah.
the World Series. Because every year he just comes up short. Ever since he was in Cleveland, actually.
So like since so like past 3 years, 4 years.
For his entire career, basically, because I think he was on the
Yeah.
Cleveland roster during 2016 when they lost to the Cubs.
Oh yeah, he was. He was on Cleveland for a long time.
Yeah, he was in Cleveland.
So he was so when I said like 4 years, I really meant more to the tune of like 14 years.
Yeah. It sucks. I hope he can at least get a bit of hardware before he eventually hangs it up. I feel like this might be his last year. Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. It could be his last year. Maybe he'll go
Hopefully the
one.
Twins make something of a splash before he goes.
Yeah. Uh, so you got Santana to the Twins, then you got Wandy Peralta to the Padres, which I don't know much about Peralta. I'll look him up real quick.
All I know is I don't expect a lot out of the Padres this year.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially after giving up Soto.
They give up Soto, they give up Hader, they give up like a lot of their best players. They still have Machado at least.
Still have Machado and Bogarts and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Yu Darvish, but yeah, a lot of really good players just left. Actually, he did pretty good for the Yankees. He did pretty well for
Yeah,
the Yankees. He had a 2.83 ERA in 63 games. So he could be neat for their bullpen. He could be a nice add to their bullpen for the next 4 years, I think is what the contract is.
yeah.
He doesn't have an age listed, which I think is pretty weird. Hold on, let me see if I can find one on a different website. Oh, he's 32. Okay.
Mm. Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah. Are there any more? Oh, Justin Turner to the Blue Jays. Justin Turner was a big piece for the Dodgers for a while, and then he was sent to Boston last year, and now he's going for another year with the Blue Jays.
Hmm.
He's another guy who's like up there in terms of age. I think this year might be his last year, maybe.
He could be. The
And
Blue Jays
then
are another team that I don't have very big expectations for.
no, especially after the last 2 years.
Like, there's a lot of talk about Bo Bichette and how next year people are thinking he's going to be really good,
I
and I
expect
believe it.
I expect Bo Bichette to be really good. I'm hoping Vlad, you know,
Well,
picks
yeah,
picks his shit up.
God, I hope Vladdy picks up soon because, like, I'm not a Blue Jays fan, but I still gotta root for him a little bit because I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
And Vladdy is like easily the most charismatic Blue Jays player. I love him and his. I love him and the fact that we both fucking hate the New York Yankees.
Yeah. It's funny. All right, and then one last bit of news before we send you guys off. There was a eBay listing of a Phillies jersey that looked strange. It looked weird, and people are saying it could potentially be their City Connect jersey.
If it's strange and weird, that sounds good to me, because you know that I like the City Connect jerseys that make big changes.
Yeah, it's got like a black and blue and like light blue gradient on it on like the
Huh.
bottom with the sleeves. And then it's
That
got
is very strange.
and then it's got a and then it says Philly on there and like a I don't want to say it's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type font, but hold on, I'll send it in recording text so that you can get a look at it.
Something that looks a bit like graffiti.
Yeah, kinda.
That could be neat.
Here it is.
I'm checking it out now. Oh, I see. It. Hmm. I'd have to see how it looks on the players, but I think it's promising enough.
Yeah, it looks neat. It looks neat. It looks pretty swanky. I
Yeah, I'd have to see the rest because the City Connect jersey is usually like the whole jersey is important.
Yeah, like it's not
Like
just the jersey, it's also the pants and the hat.
belts.
Yeah, they do.
If you're Houston, your fucking socks.
Yeah.
I remember I sent one of my friends the Houston Astros City Connect jersey, and they asked me what gaming PC it was.
God, yeah.
Like I get like I guess it is the future aesthetic they're going for, but I'll never not think it's silly.
It's so silly, especially the socks. God damn the socks.
It's fucking-
It looks fine enough. And then you add the socks and it sucks.
yeah, we can't go on too much about the socks. I'll fucking lose it. I'll lose my mind thinking about them.
Yeah. But this Phillies City Connect jersey, it looks promising. I hope the rest of it looks just as good as this jersey, because if it doesn't, I will be sad.
Yeah, it'll be really weird if it doesn't have a black pants. It doesn't have black pants. I think.
Yeah, I think. Uh,
Well, it could look neat with white pants.
white pants. White pants wouldn't be too bad.
I think a yellow belt would look really nice.
Yeah, yellow belt. Maybe like the same shade of yellow as the edges
Yeah, that's
of
what I
the
was thinking.
sleeves. And the
Exactly.
Nike logo. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it though because like
Who all is getting a City Connect jersey this year? Did they announce?
no idea.
Did they announce that or?
I feel like we would know if they did.
No, they didn't. They're just talking about the ones that could be the Phillies ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
It seems like I wonder if it
has.
was leaked on purpose or by accident.
I don't know, but this article from NBC Sports Philadelphia gives more of a gives more of a look to it. They also give us a look at the little emblem that's on the sleeve there.
Ooh. It's nice. Oh, that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a sick jersey.
All
The
right.
more I look at it, the more I like it.
Yeah, this is good job, Philly. You've done well. I can't wait for the next tier list for City Connect jerseys. What if
Yeah.
since what if like I think the final teams who don't have one might be getting one this year. What if it's like every 3 years or so they change the City Connect jersey to something else, and that's why the Nationals are retiring theirs.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that would be pretty neat, especially because then we can keep making tier list videos of the City Connect jerseys.
Speaking of tier list videos, expect this as not part of the broadcast, but part of a separate video. We're going to be rating the spring training caps
Yeah,
that they'll be using this year.
we were gonna try to do it for this episode, but we realized there was a whole lot of things to actually talk about this time. So
Yeah, we actually could have a conversation.
we actually could talk about a lot of things and not worry about whether or not the episode would be an hour long.
I'll give you one for free though. That Yankees cap.
Yeah, it's bad. It's so bad.
But yeah, look forward to that in the eventual future. And
then also look forward to home run derby.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna try to figure out how to get that stuff working, and then once we do, that should be coming out sometime. That should be streamed sometime later this month, either on my Twitch or if we don't end up getting the one thing we're thinking about working, probably on the SCS YouTube channel, and then also expect like a highlight video of some kind of all the best moments from that video, from the
yeah.
stream. Sorry. But that'll wrap up this week for the podcast. Get on the ball with SCS Baseball, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Have a wonderful evening, and also take a look at my cat.